There's some light out there. There's some light out there in this world. When we feel like everything else is at a loss or we won't be able to make it in life, there's some light in this world, and we're going to talk about it this morning. We're going to talk about extreme accountability, because yesterday was extreme responsibility, but there's a difference between accountable and responsible, and we're going to dive into it this morning. Motivation. I'm Mark Saint. I'm your host of What the Most Is. This is Saint's Addiction. Give over take. Make sure you get the shirt. Make sure you get the shirt. Make sure you get the logo. Make sure you get accountable. And that's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to just a straight talk about accountability, mops, gloves, signs. Look for the angels in your life wherever they are. Make a little bit of sign action here. Straighten this whole thing out. I don't even know what is going on with this stand, but it looks like there's plenty of situation is going on here. I'm gonna just let that slide and just get this thing looking better now. There we go. So, morning motivation. Let's get motivated real quick, and let's talk about accountability, because I got a lot of people slacking on the front and it's pissing me off, and I thought I should talk about it because it's something called being impeccable with your word. It's one of those things that we all say we're going to do, and we leave the energy behind. We stop doing what we say we're going to do, and we go back to our habit. And that's what is so strange about addictions, is it takes energy away from things that could have given you or gotten more energy. And it's a shine stealer. Let's go. Blast up, everybody. Got the last of my weed here. Got the last of my wraps, billionaire hemp wraps. Holler at your boy Saint. I got you. And let's get the show on the road, shall we? This thing looks a little bit off here. It's fucking with me. The OCD's fucking with me. It's gotta be straight and flat, and when it's not, fucks with me a little bit. So, speaking of OCDs, there it is. We all have OCDs. We all have this obsessive compulsive disorder to do things our way, in a certain way. I was with my homegirl. She was opening up her own art gallery. It was first Friday, and the carpet got kicked up and it flopped over, and I was already kind of itching at fixing it and making it perfect. I was already itching, like I was like, oh, I gotta handle this. She ended up handling it, and it was nice of her to handle it, because I love when someone else exposes their OCDs and uniqueness and things that only we can see or think that we can see, and others have to adjust. And this is what it's all about. It's about adjustments. In our lives, we'll be confronted by situations where we can lie our way out of it, we can block our way out of it, we can talk our way out of it, but the truth will always shine in the end. And for a lot of people, they ain't trying to do the truth. They're trying to mask the truth. They're trying to cover up their truth and their honor and their ability to keep their word. And that's one of the four agreements, is be impeccable with your word. And most people are only impeccable with their drama, or impeccable with their stress, or impeccable with their ego. But when it comes time to show flaw, over here talking about addictions, talking about weakness, talking about things that I'm not my strong suit, it'd be easier just get on here and go, everything's so glamorous. I got all these shirts, I got all these models, everything's fine. It's okay for things not to be fine. It's okay for things to have disorder and some chaos. The rug will get kicked up. And sure, you'll go over there and try to fix it, but some things aren't so fixable. Some things are honorable. Some things are, when no one else is looking, who are you? And that will shout louder than anybody will ever, because there's so many people that go the opposite way. I live in Las Vegas. There's so many people that get the Snoop Dogg tickets. Oh yeah, it's your birthday, I'm gonna come meet you. Oh wait, I got Snoop Dogg tickets. Switched my decision, switched my direction, gone in a different direction. That's what we do as people. We get distracted. We get off the course that we had set out for ourselves, when we were congruent, when we were concentrated, when we had made a decision that we were going to do something. One of my case in points, one of my reliable models still bugging me. I've worked with her maybe 2-3 times now, and I told her, and she said, "Oh, I'll get you these business cards." Now all of a sudden, she kept 4, 5, 6 different bags full of swag, full of free stuff. She got all her free stuff, but she never gave me the business cards. Now all of a sudden she stops answering the phone. It's easier to block. It's easier to ignore, pretend like it doesn't even happen. Well, I live in the real world where I know for facts. There's another case in point where this one girl, she just blocked me because she didn't like the size or the thickness of the paper for her posters. Now, mind you, it was flyer paper and we could fix it, but now that she's blocked me, I have no way to fix it. And that's what started to happen. This morning I get the phone call and I go, "Bro, it's Monday, it's Labor Day, and you're calling me again with your hair on fire like Mark, come save my topic. I tried to save your topic a week ago. When you guys waited till the last minute, at 15 minutes before 4 o'clock, you called me, even though it was due at 4 o'clock. And I mean, due, like everything's set up, ready to go by 4. Not, hey, oh yeah, by the way, let me give you this payment real quick. Got up the next morning, and what ended up happening? They backed out of it again. And I was just like, whatever you're doing, lady, is only all your inconsistencies is only causing you late fees. And same in real life. Our inconsistencies of keeping our words with ourselves are our late fees. When we said we were going to quit eating sugar at night, it's easy to say in the morning when you don't have the cravings. At night, when you're all lonely and you just ate, that's when I like my sugar. As a sugar slut, ooh, I almost can't. I just finished my last bite. Where's the dessert? I got to get something sugary in my mouth to make my equilibrium all right. My equilibrium all right. So when we're equal and balanced in our lives, our shine gets out there. We become more adept at what's going on. For me, shaking off depression was just like, how long was I planning on living in the past? I'm literally looking at pictures of my ex from a year ago, and I keep thinking to myself, man, for the longest time, I'm in my head going, you blew it, you blew it, you blew it. And then I started to learn that this isn't my future. That it wasn't as congruent and balanced and equal as I was picturing it. How many of us couldn't take it enough? That's enough to miss the bus with our exes, right? And now all of a sudden, it's that time again, right? It's that time again for organization and equal egalitarianism, and something that when you put the energy out, it comes back to you tenfold, or at least equal. And we love tenfold, 10x. We love, huge returns and everybody smashing sales and all this other stuff. When the real touchdowns is keeping your happy without an external source, right? Responding to people correctly without being triggered. What's the new way of accepting that you're not in control? Huge disillusion for ourselves because we put on so many airs. We go put on our best Sunday clothes and we want everybody to pretend that our shit's okay and our shit don't stink, just like on Sundays at church, but we're all as ugly as each other. Like, what did he say for Will Smith? He said, he said Will Smith did a great job of impersonating a good human, or a perfect human being, or something like that, for 30 years, till he slapped Chris Rock, and now all of a sudden we see he's as ugly as the rest of us. Super flawed, super judgmental, super unaccountable, and that's why I needed this helicopter to fly by right now. I needed that strength in the words that I am accountable. You can count on me, and I can count on myself. There's a huge difference from saying you're going to be somewhere and helping somebody out with a tire or some homework or doing a photo shoot, right? Or saying you're going to keep the business cards, or what kind of paper you need for your posters, and can your budget cover it? That part. And that's where I stay. That's where I stand today, is saying to people that accountability is a really powerful tool. It's almost like acknowledgement and praise. When you're being praising people, it goes so much further than being judging people. Praise over judge. That's what we're gonna make. A praise. We'll do praise over judge on the shirt. That's the new one. Yeah, PRAISEJUDGE. Praise over judges. I don't know. Praise over judged. There we go. I have to count them in my head and make them equal my OCD. So I have an OCD. I bumped heads with another friend that has her OCD. She was having a bit of an anxiety attack. It rubbed off on me. I was like, we got to turn around. I got to let you go. We didn't speak for the last 45 minutes. No. She kind of wants to pretend like everything's okay. I'm of the belief that we need to be accountable for that kind of behavior. What the fuck was that? I kicked my ex out and mailed her stuff thinking that was it. I was like, that's not the behavior. When she came back, I never asked her, why are you coming back? I never made her accountable for leaving. Like, you already knew I was an asshole. You already know I can kick you out of my house. You already know I'm not going to take your shit. Why are you back here? And make them say, well, it's just sex, or I'm having an anxiety attack, or I forgot. It's strong. The truth is so strong when you're really living in your truth. When your shit smells and you can shine. When you know about your darkness and your light. When you can acknowledge the egalitarianism of it, the balance of it, the dichotomy. Most people just want to fucking close their eyes and pretend. As long as everybody likes my photos, as long as everybody thinks I'm popular, it's addictive because it looks happy. It looks a lot like attainable happiness, that you can just buy that purse and you're gonna be okay. Same for the guys. If you just buy that car, you're gonna be okay. That's not okay, man. I just saw the other day, one dude ran his whole. Please tell me it wasn't Marshawn Lynch again. Oh my God, ran his whole Lambo up a rock, like fucked it all up. And I mean, like, this is what we do. We think that because it's expensive and it's shiny and it's beautiful, that it doesn't have flaws, that it doesn't have chinks in its armor, that it doesn't have imperfections. And everything down to a microscopic level is imperfect, right? It's kind of linear, but you won't see that. I think the only thing that we see even try to be perfect are diamonds. And even with that much pressure and that far deep in the ground, things still aren't perfect. So perfectly imperfect. Admit your flaws rapidly. That's one of the How to Win Friends and Influence People book, is to admit it. Sit here and say, man, I'm a flawed human being. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. Expect to make more mistakes. And when I was listening to that audiobook yesterday, I was showing you guys again the subtle art of not giving a fuck. You can listen to it yourself. You know what I mean? You can get on YouTube, and it's a free. I'm trying to find it for people. Where's the rest of it? The subtle art of not giving a fuck. Here it is right here. It looks like this. Subtle art of not giving a fuck. I was listening to it today. He's replaying the video. But we got into it. Let me see.
Yourself. I call this the do something principle. After using it myself to build my business, I began teaching it to readers who came to me perplexed by their own VCR questions. How do I apply for a job? Or how do I tell this guy I want to be his girlfriend? And the like. During the first couple years I worked for myself, entire weeks would go by without my accomplishing much, for no other reason than that I was anxious and stressed about what I had to do.
He talks very frank.
Now that I'm in my 30s, I can finally recognize that commitment, in its own way, offers a wealth of opportunity and experiences that would otherwise never be available to me, no matter and freed from dangerous dogmatic views. The sunny side of death. I step from rock.
He
It
was
comes
in a
across.
section where he was.
She says, there are still monsters in the back of and forms meaning, the chair is gray. Our minds are constantly, no way to explain his own behavior.
Anyway, it's all over the place, but it's 5 hours, and you can watch the audiobook yourself, or listen to the audiobook yourself. But the point is that what I got out of it is a lot, right? Like I did a whole show yesterday about it and played most of it. But this last part about, I hope I am wrong in the future. I hope that I can constantly shatter these myths that I build in my mind of that are absolutes. Thank you for that power, that absolutes, like there's no absolute power. What the guy say when he was walking off on the meme? He said, memes on shirts. He said, what did he say? He said, there's always a bigger bear, darling. We're always so badass and can't be stopped. And we kind of pump ourselves up like a fighter. We almost become delusional. That's the one thing that a lot of people would much rather have instead of confidence. They much rather have delusions of grandeur. There's also egotistical delusional thoughts and beliefs. We kind of almost back it on like a Kanye West level where we're just like, as long as it's ridiculous and over the top, it gets a go. And what doesn't get a go is the amount of work that comes with it. Right? Nobody wants to do the work. They just want to have the gusto. And you got to have some bravery in your bravado, right? You're going to have to put some work behind the words. And I don't see a lot of people doing that. I had a shirt, I faded, but it said, don't wish work. It kind of started this over series. And one of the don't wish work shirts really does make sense to me because it's like, unless we're putting the energy into it, talk about that responsibility of it yesterday, we're ourselves to blame, right? We're ourselves to blame if we're going to stay consistent, if we're going to, and I was just watching who was saying consistency is who was it? Fucking memes, man. You just fly through consistency. I think it was your boy Denzel Washington. But, showing up and showing out consistently in our lives, counting on ourselves, like I was saying earlier, being able to count on yourself and say, yo, I'm going to do that work that I said I was going to do. I'm going to follow through with the things that I said I was going to do. I had a tough time with my ex, this recent thing, because we almost had a baby. And for her not to follow through and for us to stop, life shocked my system. And it also let me know, and she let me know, how much I was not in control. It's a hell of a way to show somebody, but, there's always somebody that's always going to try to test you and your balance and your mentality on a daily. You're going to have to interact with people. And I love to sit here that I get the best out of people here lately, especially like with women. I asked for a girl to do her cats on shirts and take a selfie. She ended up doing a shot of another product and I forgot. And then months later, gave me the same video again. And I was just like, lady, all I asked for is this. And she was just like, unfriend you, block. Well, I wasn't blocked, but I got unfriended because I was direct. I didn't call her any names. I didn't raise my voice. And I'm direct to people. And it's not soft. And I feel like they think it's not respectful. I wouldn't say it's exactly kind, but it is. I wouldn't exactly say it's mean. I'm just direct. Like, yo, I'm trying to get to you. And maybe it's too drill sergeant-y, but I'm not barking in anybody's face and I'm not yelling. I just realized that some of my communication works for some people and some of it doesn't work for others. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And recognize if you're at a tea party, maybe that's not the place for your energy. I do like to put the phone down and sit quietly. I like to think the drama for the lesson that's in it, right? The miscommunication, and note myself if my miscommunication goes off. Here lately, I only count the miscommunications, but here by and large, it's pretty much on point. I get to talk to people. People tell me never to quit the show. I get to give good points. I really appreciated sharing that book yesterday, the audiobook, just the link to my friends in Messenger. I was surprised, but maybe 5, 6 different people said that they had read the book loved it. One person said, love this book. I'm working on the second book. Actually, I'll tell you the responses. Hold on. News Realty. Oh shit, somebody trying to call me for work. Let's answer it. Let's see who it is. That would have been cool though. We'll see. But in a non-perfect world where everything becomes interrupted or out of flow or out of balance, and we go back to our habits, and I just hope that you challenge your life every day to not be the same but different, you know, as they say in Thailand, same but different. I'd really like those to be what it is, and that's where I'm at in my life, you know. For us to get this win, for us to get a touchdown in life, like my friend's getting the dimensions right now, we need to get exact, you know. We're so distracted that we didn't give any time to the actual course. We're great at dissecting other people's lives, keeping up with like whoever's relationships in the news, and keeping up with the Joneses and these celebrities, right? Giving them all of our attention, but not to our own dimensions. And that's what I was looking at. I was looking at dimensions. I was like, this is some shit right here, you know? This is some shit where we haven't even calculated not only our importance, but our energy. And I mean, I get to see right here, I'm almost done with my 30-minute rant here. But motivation, by the way, staying motivated. But it's also Labor Day, and it's a hell of a day to get accountable, you know, to think about all the labor you put into something, whether it be a relationship or actual work, and the hours. I think we justify it with just the number. We're like, yo, as long as this thing says $2,000, I'll do whatever it takes this whole week and work my ass off. And I'm just like calculating, can I do that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Could I do anything? Like my poor day one, he's always on his fucking knees and back laying floor. We got 4 children. I don't think I could handle laying floor. This body is not built for that anymore. I'm not in that game. And some people will do anything to get that number. And you know, the number on the scale, the number on their chest, their size of their chest, you know, whatever they think has this amount of values or value, and we got to question our values. So it's not a matter of price; it's a matter of value. And I have a value over price shirt, you know, but that's where we need to calculate it. Calculating our energies, our meat, our money, our energy, our attention, and our time. Where are you putting your meat? And I hope you're sticking it in and getting it how you live and doing something with your life. So please keep creating. I just dropped a bunch of designs on Saints Addiction. If you get a chance, you already know the Saints Anarchy series, the Give Over Take. We got Love Over Hate. There's so many, again, value over price. There's so many in that series. It's mostly Saints. And that's what I did. I just developed my OCD into creativity, my depression into motivation, and my fear into fuel. So everyone else, we could challenge ourselves to travel, challenge ourselves to go places. Oh shit, I thought this was almost 30 minutes. Challenge our places we never even seen. We've never even seen some of these places or can't pronounce or didn't know existed till we open it up. You know, I played this game called Age of Empires, and part of it's this, like, it's a dark map till you discover it. And that's what I feel like the zones in ourselves, that we keep kind of staying in this one map and we don't go into these dark maps. And that's what shuts us down. That's kind of what I got the aha moment for that. I'm getting blown up. my aha moment from this audiobook, the subtle art of not giving a fuck. Almost just lost it because I'm high right now. What was I trying to say? Mm. I think it was just the realness of being real with yourself and taking away excuses and taking away um, the things that stand away in front of our accountability and knowing what was our responsibility. And sure, we didn't ask for these things to happen to us, but it is now our responsibility on our lap, in our minds, and in our soul to decide what direction we're going to go with this. Are we going to just swallow it, pretend it never happened? I got friends like that. They went through the abortion and never even said anything to anyone. Me, I think that's what the chick that almost had the baby's doing. Uh, I think that's her play. For me, I rerun it always in my head like a quarterback. Maybe that's the OCD trying to fix things perfectly. Mm-hmm. Thinking that because everything's in alignment, that my life is in alignment. And that's how we put so much energy into convincing other people that we're in alignment or that we're spiritual. Please take a selfie of me while I'm in a spiritual pose. Okay, great. Let me snap out of it, come back to it. Be awesome if all of our photos were from other people instead of ourselves. I had a nice little selfie moment yesterday because I had all these products, and I'm like, it's so funny that when I'm showing off products, I'm showing off my ego. I got to use myself as a model. Right now, I've expanded myself to other models. Shout out to Reliable Models and all the girls that I've been hollering at. I appreciate it. I appreciate the positivity. I appreciate the outgoingness and the availability. Anybody could wear a t-shirt. You're not asking much, but represent, make me look good, make my dream come true, reach, preach, and teach to people. Using this thing as an avenue is when it is boring and it's not entertaining, and I'm not live and I'm not trying to get attention, or my ego's not getting stroked, or my consciousness or my verbal diary, right? Besides for all that bullshit, I don't call it bullshit. Just besides for that personal stuff, you know, I spend time creating. I literally have some new designs, and I'd love to share it with y'all. Somebody just tried linking me, and this is what it looks like. I have the power. Anybody ever seen He-Man? He-Man. Oh man, come on now. I just did it. He-Man. I'm trying to do it. I have the power. And I put my Saints Addiction A right there. There's the Saints Anarchy A. If you can see it right on his chest, I have the power. I have the power to change the way I decide things are happening instead of start being such an emotional fuck or somebody that just fucks it up. And I really appreciate this dude going ham, or hard as a motherfucker, bro. He went deep for this subtle art. I'm not giving a fuck. He really went deep into this one. This guy's named Mark too. I can't see it. Mark Manson. Anyway, but I mean, he really went deep too, talking about his flaws and like sleeping with this girl because she thought he was cute and laughed at his jokes. He slept with her and she ended up stalking him for years, thinking that they belonged together, even though she sat down in the restaurant next to him and his fiance. She said, I hope she's okay with this. You know, she worked her into the scenario, worked herself into psychosis, worked herself into a psychosis because she was one of those healed junkies, you know, where they're just obsessive about that. Now they're OCD. I put it in my shirts. You're OCD about something. You're focusing in on something. That's who you're praying to. That's your pulpit. That's your fucking, what do they call, shrine. We're putting our attention into a lot of those things. And it's just like, if we put our attention to something else, just give it an experiment, just like he did. You know, that's my 30 minutes. But he said, he's like, I'm going to give it a year before I kill myself. He was going to kill himself. The dude, one of these guys was in psychology and said, what if I became responsible for every action in my life and stop blaming anyone else and just get rapidly responsible and accountable, like we're talking about this show today. Responsible was yesterday, accountable is today. It's every day. And getting in that zone of your life and going, you know what, dude, I am going to not get numbed by my phone. I'm going to stay spiritual and not for someone to take my selfie. I am going to get out of the house, get brave, get into some action, get off the couch, do something. anything. Like he was saying earlier, you know, you just got to do anything. You'll get to listen to the audiobook. But motion creates emotion. And living off of just emotion and memory is not a steady diet of productivity. I just came up with that. Damn good. On my heart from Starship of Marky Saint, peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever in Finnish. And I will see you on the other side. I almost said Finland. As soon as you like, share, subscribe. Because I was thinking about my friends and visiting. Finland, Turkey, England, Germany, Brazil, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand. Well, like 8 places I got friends that I need to visit, like ASAP. Canada. Still, I'm telling you, these things are really on the list and will get done. And some of them have been already done, but I'm just saying, like, these other ones, they just got to get done. And then let's make it 10 just because we got to push ourselves. See what we're about. That was the thing I got out of it. We don't know. What he was saying in the subtle art of not giving a fuck is like, we don't know because we don't try. We preconceive and tell ourselves a lie. She won't like me. He won't like me. They probably already found somebody for the job. I can't do it without no money. Whatever else we keep telling ourselves to stop ourselves from staying in action and staying on our phones. I'm going to let that and leave it alone. Peace. I'll see you on the other side. Ciao. Mic drop.